Welcome to a video from ThisIsLive.com. This is my new collection for the Korg Modwave. This is the D-110 collection, volume 1 at Wave State, coming soon. Keep an eye on the YouTube channel for that. Before I delve into them, please like and subscribe. It really does help me out. I recently received a Roland D-110 multi-timbral synth module, and I've sampled it and recreated all those sounds on the Modwave. So the D-110 was a multi-timbral sound module from Roland in 1988, so it's packed full of 80 sounds. It was one of the first multi-timbral modules actually, and based on the D50, the legendary D50, kind of a cut down architecture, but it was very powerful because it was multi-timbral, meaning you could have, from MIDI, you could play a piano, strings, drums, all at the same time from your sequencer, and it was had reverb on it as well. So it was actually a really powerful module at the time. There was a keyboard version, the D10 and the D20. I've actually got a separate video on the D110 and all a demonstration of the architecture and some of the sounds as well. But if you've got a Modwave, the sample pack and performance pack will bring all those sounds straight to your Modwave. So at the end of the video, I'll show you how you import these in using the sample editor. It's fairly simple. I've done quite a few of these now, so they're all using the same methodology. So what I'm going to do first though is demonstrate some of the sounds. As you can see in this collection, I went from A to I in the alphabet of the patches, and there was already 67 on there for you to play with. There's 67 performances and programs as well. I'll just go through the 66 performances on this video. Some are excellent, some are a bit basic, some are very dated, so you can hear them and you get to choose them. They're not massive sounds either. I've multi-sampled it with only 4 zones, so it's not using too much space on your Modwave or Wave State. Right, let's have a dive into some of the sounds, and I'll start with the one that's probably most interesting or familiar. This is a classic D110 sound. The D110 used partials, so there's 4 partials, and it could either be a sample or synthesis. The idea was that memory was expensive. You couldn't have full sort of romplers back in '88. The M1 came later, and that's what that did. But the way that Roland got around this was by using very short attack samples, the attack transient of the sound, and then synthesizing the remaining parts. So you can hear digital samples in there, and then analog synthesis, so LA synthesis. So it had these 4 layers that you could then choose which way around you want. So some sound quite good, some sound a little bit dated. But this was fantasy. A really nice, distinctive 80s digital sound. Right, now we'll whiz through these in alphabetical order. So we've got a few pianos, not the greatest pianos, but I've got a certain character to them. So, a typical 80s sounding piano, and we've got a couple of variations on that. The reverbs and delays I have added on the choruses. So I've got 3 acoustic pianos. Actually, lower down sounds quite good. So there's the 3 pianos. This one, almost a PPG, is a sound that isn't one of the presets, but I've used the D110's bell and brass sound and applied some ring modulation. So it sounded PPG-like to me, almost a digital vocal quality in there. So that's almost a PPG. So there are a few extra ones that I've added in here that aren't based on the presets. But you can take these and do with them and play with them, layer them up and that kind of thing. This is atmosphere, this is back to the presets. Bass synth. And again, preset. This one, bell choir, is one that I took the BreathChor and the bell tree and combined them to make a new sound. Nice warm sound there with that bell layer. Bell swing and other presets. And bell tree. Blowpipes. As you see, I'm showing this blowpipes example here. I'm using the samples, so all the samples are in the library that comes as ID samples, and you'll see all the D110 ones there, starting with they've all prefixed D110, make them easy to find. Most of these examples, apart from the customs ones I've been showing you, are using the a single oscillator to replay the samples. That's blowpipes. And this is when I showed you before. Bottle blow. And you can really hear those attack transients on that. And we've got brass. And brass 2. And brass 3. And brass 4. And one I do like actually is brass pad. We've got a BreathChor. And breath pipe. A couple of Celestas. Sounded pretty dry on the original. I touched that delay and reverb actually made them sound quite much better. Celesta 2. So we've got a couple of cellos. Don't really sound like cellos that much. But again, with the Modwave, the great thing in Modwave is you could just go into that. I've reduced the attack on that as well, as you can see, but you could lengthen that out a bit and other way and shorten it, and so you've got that flexibility. Cello 2. Cello 2. Chorale's quite nice. And we got clarinet. I've added vibrato on the mod wheel, and I think I also added polyaftertouch for that as well. Got 2 clarinets, a couple of clavs, and a Calitroid. It's got like a bit of a hit at the beginning. ContraBass. And some deep strings. Quite hollow sound of square wave sound on that. And a couple of hits. Which sound quite good lower down. And dual brass pad, this is one I made. I did that by combining the same brass pad twice and then doing a bit of pitch shifting just to give that wide sound. And this one, echo up, no arpeggiator on the D110, but I've added one in, and I've added a free running LFO on the filter cutoff. Echo bell. You can really hear those multi-layers on that one. And echo pan. A few guitars now. Mute. And electric guitar. Not the best electric guitars. Again with mod wheel control and polyaftertouch and toms. I put a bit of a sequence on there. By the way, the full drum kit's in this, I'll come back to that. So we've got a few basses. And some organs. And some electric pianos. Very 80s sounding. Quite like that one, that's very sort of synth, and a French horn. And we've got an English horn, which doesn't sound very English hornish, but an ethic hit. Four leads. Fantasy, I already played it earlier on. And a couple of flutes. I quite like the flutes. Do a nice attack on there. Flute 2, not quite as good. And a French horn. Bass. Fretless bass. And another one. And then the full kit, that's the drum kit. Now, what happened, General MIDI wasn't around when this came out, but Roland and others were working on General MIDI, and this became the General MIDI standard, the layout of the kit. So if you're familiar with that, with the kick drum on the bottom C, and then on the D a snare and a clap on D sharp, this is where that first came about. So what I've done, there's actually quite a few octaves of this, so I sampled them all and mapped them. So I actually like these drums. And I've added a bit of early reflection on there, but you can turn that off if you like. Got a full out organ. And a bass. Ice Fantasy is nice. I added some. I got the Ice Rain Fantasy and a pad to go with that one. So this this one, Ice Fantasy, is a custom one I've created. It uses the Ice Rain's long sample. It uses the Fantasy sample, and I've added a nice JX string sample, string synthesis layer on there as well. Here's the Ice Rains part. This is another custom one, so I'm layering up the choral sample and the pianos. And another custom one is Super Fantasy, which is based off the Fantasy, and I've used 2 samples and tuned them apart slightly, with a bit of LFO to alter that tune as well. So you can hear that drifting in and out of tune. Right, so now I'm going to show you how you can import my samples into Modwave or WaveState and the native versions as well. So what you're going to need is the Korg sample builder, so fire the sample builder up. Now there's 2 ways you can do this. I do provide you with a bank file which you can send to your device. It will remove the other samples in and just play that bank file. So let me just quickly show you. So you go to Open Bank, browse to the file. So here's the file, the D-110 file. So there you can now see all the samples from this collection. Pick your device and send bank. So that will remove all the existing samples, you know, not the factory sounds or anything like that, just the user samples. It removes those and sends this bank over. So that's great. If you're not using any multi-samples, this will send them over. If you want to retain your existing multi-samples and add mine as new ones, then I'll show you how to do that in a second. So that's sent that over. They're all in there. I'll show you how you access the performances in a second. So there's all sent over, and I could send those by picking there to the WaveState. But what I actually prefer to do is have my own master bank and then just add the provided multi-samples and then send that, so that way you don't wipe out each time, you just keep adding new ones. So I go to my bank, so I've got an ID bank there. This is my master one, so everything is in here. So you could have one of those, and you want to add my D110 files in, you can do add multi-samples, and then you'll find all the sounds in there, and then you can pick the one you wanted to add and add that one, and that adds it in there. So then this is now my master, so I've got all my Fairlight ones in and my D110 ones and the mkII ones in, and I can just do send bank. Okay, so that's sent that. All those are now in my Modwave, and like I said, for wave state I would just pick that one and do the same thing. If you've got Modwave Native or Wave State Native, what you can do is you can get your bank or my bank, and then you do save bank with plugin. I'm going to call my ID samples because that's what it is, or you could be my D110 samples, but you save that and it does some of the cleanup actions and the compiling and things like that in the background, and it prepares that file ready for the Modwave Native or Wave State Native. So doing that, flick to Modwave, you do user sample banks and point the path where you've saved that file, so my ID file was in there. Okay, that's done that. Right, to import the files into a Modwave, the performances that is, it's simple. You just go to import, find ID 110 wherever you unzip that. That's imported those in now, so that imports all the performances into your Modwave. So that's the D110 collection volume 1 for the Modwave. If you've got Wave State, just keep an eye on my YouTube channel. I'll have a video on that coming soon. I've got a load more to do. That's from the second half of it probably. I might split it into 2 more, depends how many there are. So really interesting synth, the D110. I had a D20 back in the day, and thanks to Steve for sending me over the D110 and enabled me to do all the sampling. Any comments or questions, let me know in the comments section. Please like and subscribe. I'm trying to get those viewing numbers up. Thanks for watching this video. Download the sounds from thedigital lifestyle.com, and I'll see you on the next one.